notice and the buyer agency contract, none of that changes if I'm representing someone buying new construction, right? So what that means is I still owe a fiduciary responsibility to my buyers, which to summarize that is honesty, loyalty, confidentiality, and putting my interests ahead of their own. So number one, I think it's really important to understand that fiduciary responsibility, those are non-waivable duties, regardless of whether my client's buying new construction or a 150-year-old home. What I would say though to an agent getting involved in a super regional builder or national builder, as you mentioned, they have systems, and it's really up to the agent, in my opinion, to help educate their client in understanding that the builder is going to communicate directly with the buyer. The builder's looking at the buyer as their client, as their customer. And so there's going to be a lot of communication that's back and forth between the builder and the buyer, and the buyer agent needs to help the buyer understand, help their client understand, hey, you got to send this to me. I don't know what's going on. It's very difficult, or more difficult, for me to do my job to protect your interest if you're talking to the builder without me knowing, right? So at the very least, I think the buyer agent really wants to get involved in the communication loop, which is many times they're going to be squeezed out of that. So that's what I would say first. The other thing I would say is, just because somebody does something, just because a builder has a very strong system doesn't mean that mistakes can't happen. Building a home is obviously a very large, undertaking, right? I mean, we're talking about a 4, 5, 6 month project, from construction to finish. And so we want to help our buyers understand that there's going to be pitfalls, right? Things are going to happen. It's just the rules of engagement when you're talking about a project as large as building a home. So helping them work through that. And the last thing I would say is really just helping the buyers understand the amount of time that you have to invest when you're buying new construction. Everything from picking out the kitchen, picking out the bathrooms, going to visit the home, right? We want to be on site, in my opinion, at least 2 or 3 times a month, just driving by, creating a relationship with the vendors who are building the house. Because the faster we see issues, the easier it is for that builder to correct it. What we don't want to do is show up the day before settlement and realize that the lights are in the wrong spot, or realize that the basement wasn't done correctly. Now it's a major problem. So visiting that home on a frequent basis as an agent with your buyer, to me, is a real critical step.